What's up, family? It is none other than your boy JGiddins, the father. As usual, remember to be positive, be optimistic, and keep positive people in your circle. The title of this video is Child Abuse Platform. Were you touched as a child? Is this somebody that's touching you, right? What I would like to do is provide a platform for those who might be experiencing this, right? There's a lot of us, when these men and women, because I was touched by women when I was younger, when they touch you, they tend to try to convince you that nothing's wrong with what's going on, you know? So a lot of times you may have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old girls who are, you know, having sex with adult men who, you know, sometimes are their fathers, sometimes, a lot of the time, stepfathers, and sometimes it could be uncles, but it's normally going to be a family member or a friend or somebody close, right? This often happens when you have a single mother who just lets her children go over people's houses, let people come over, right? These people touch the children. And this brings about great trauma and imbalance in the child. What I would like to do is provide a platform that, you know, people can come on to be able to express what they feel, you know what I mean? Be able to share their thoughts on it, and also sort of be a healing space. You know, there's someone pretty close to me who I recently found out was being molested for over a decade as a child, and this is someone that I shouldn't have not known. Let's just say that, right? So like, and I think that there were tattletale signs, but I think that at the end of the day, when everybody's just quiet and kind of going along with things, it can make you be a little bit numb to things that would have otherwise generated concern, right? So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? Because there's somebody out there who's being touched, right? There's somebody out there who's sitting right next to somebody who touches them, and you know, they don't want to talk about it, they're afraid, or they think nobody's gonna care, right? There's some people who think that, you know, nobody's gonna believe me, so it doesn't matter anyway, right? I'm one to believe that normally when somebody is just going to dismiss you and say, I don't believe you anyway, that kind of person is part of the problem, right? So I agree with you. You know, what I would say to those people is I agree with you that, you know, it sucks that nobody's going to believe you or they're going to try to cast doubt. But the only people who are going to do that are the people who you don't want to be involved with anyway, right? Like, you know, you don't want somebody around you who would just dismiss your claim that there's somebody inappropriately touching you as a child. Like, you know, why would they just dismiss that? They probably are doing it themselves too, or they know the person who's doing it to you and they're trying to cover it up, right? A lot of times this happens with parents, especially mothers. You know, mothers will get a boyfriend because they're single, they need help with things, you know. First of all, they want to have sex, or they want sexual intimacy. But then they also want financial help. They want somebody to buy things, pay bills, right? And as a man, if you're giving up your money and you're paying somebody's bills, men naturally, they want something in exchange. So what does a woman have to give if she has a little girl that he's interested in, right? I think that question answers itself, right? Like, she has the little girl to give, right? So what mother is gonna say, no, you can't have my little girl, you know, in exchange for financial freedom and you taking care of me and me not having to stress about how to take care of this and that, right? Some would say no mother would do that. Some would say very many mothers do that regularly. And those children end up in circumstances where there's no way for them to express what they're feeling because they're muffled a lot of times. What happens is the parents start a smear campaign against the child and start to make people view the child as weird or as strange, and sort of estrange them from anybody who would be able to help them, right? It's actually like an attack from your parent, and it's one of the most horrible things because they have control over all of the things that would control someone's credibility in you, right? So they can take you to a doctor and have a doctor diagnose you with things based on what they tell the doctor you're doing, right? Which may or may not be even true, right? But you have very little control over this. So, you know, a child is unfortunately in a really bad position if their parent wants to bully them and decides to do that. The only other person that can really save them from that is the other parent, because the other parent can command the same authority over the child. What's really bad is when both parents don't like the child. That is a horrible scenario, and I've seen plenty of those scenarios where the mother and the father will torture the children, and they purposely make things intentionally hard for the child, and they do this so that the child will always be in this state of like discombobulation and never be able to figure themselves out and grow. They want the child to be dependent on them. They want them to never feel like there's something without them. This is the same thing men who are, abusing their women do. They want the woman to never feel like there is another man that would be with them or treat them, with respect. But the real truth of the matter is that's the furthest thing from the truth. There's plenty of men who would. So their fear, and this is what narcissism is. One thing I would highly recommend is that all children who have been through victim states as it relates to abuse, study what narcissism is. They should be required to learn that. They should be required to learn the psychology of narcissism, because when you understand that, then it's a little less painful to swallow the pill of those who are closest to you being your worst enemies, right? Because these narcissistic traits and behaviors are psychological, and a lot of times outside of their own control. It's like a sickness. It's like if somebody had a stomach virus and they're throwing up and you're getting mad because they're throwing up. Like, at the end of the day, you have to understand they're sick. So I think teaching children who have been victims, what's up, Nelly? I don't know if you're still in here, but I think teaching children who have been victims to abuse about the very diseases and sicknesses that cause their abuse would help them circumvent the damage from it, because they would have a better understanding. So again, what I want to do is try to create a platform that would help promote that, and I also want to okay Nelly, Nelly, I'm about to start going on a little bit of a campaign because I'm about to get my daughters back. So I'm just speaking that into manifesting. I already know I'm about to get my daughters back, so I'm going on a sort of like a child abuse, child neglect awareness campaign, where I want to create a platform where those who may have gone through that can, speak out or just kind of come to vent, and sort of I might create another page for it, honestly, or just use this one, I don't know. But I want to create a safe space that people can come and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to create the narrative for men to be able to understand their sickness as well. Because the men who are out here touching young girls, they are sick. They are physiologically sick, they are psychologically sick, and they need to figure that out first so they can resolve it. And I think a lot of times men need to hear men say the things that men won't say, right? Like, no little girl should be sitting on a man's lap, right? Like, we all know that. This is indicative of either an interest in the child from the adult, or the child's ignorance and naivete that can be, taken advantage of, or is a vulnerability to the adult from the child. So, like, these circumstances have to be talked about. We have to, voice them. We have to make the people who are doing this uncomfortable. These people are walking around too comfortable, and me finding out about the person close to me who I recently found out was being molested for over a decade, it really hit home for me about how this was able to go on, because don't nobody want to say nothing. And like, I refuse to go forward being the guy that don't say nothing. Like, I'm going to not only say something, I'm going to scream to a mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were touched as a child, talk to me about it. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no judgment, because it ain't nothing that you did. It was something that the person who did it to you had a sickness of. This is like if somebody sneezed or coughed on you. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you a sickly person. That doesn't make anything wrong with you. That makes you a victim of somebody's symptoms. And we have to put that out there, because a lot of people are blaming themselves for other people's colds. You know what I'm saying? Other people out there walking around with with all kind of laryngitis and shit, you know what I'm saying, and their symptoms are affecting people, and the people are feeling like they have laryngitis now, but it's really just, you know what I'm saying. So this was my first live. I did a live on Instagram talking about this, and they deleted it. Well, what happened was they said they couldn't save the live because it wasn't longer than a minute. Mind you, I was on the live for at least like 5-10 minutes talking. Like, I was on there, I was on the live, and then I went to go save it. It said your live has to be a minute long, and it deleted it. So, you know, but we know how this works, you know what I'm saying? It's not popular what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? But I don't, you know I'm so perfect for this. I don't give a fuck about being popular. I don't care what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do care what people think, and I love you all. Like, I don't want people to dislike me. I don't want people to, you know what I'm saying, feel any way toward me. But I like truth, righteousness, morality, compassion, justice. I like those things 10 times more than I care about you liking me. So it's like, I do care what people think, but I don't care more than I care about the right thing. So, you know, you can feel how you want to feel. What I care about is young, you know, young children being able to get off their chest the things that may have happened to them, or even if they can't get it off their chest, giving them the knowledge and insight that they need to be able to get over what happened to them. Because, you know, hurt people. You know what I'm saying? When you have an adult that was touched. Nelly, you still here? If you still here, comment and let me know you still here, because it's saying you left, but I want to make sure. Just because I care to know of your presence, right? But hurt people. So if you got a young girl that's being touched or being abused or beat up or neglected, and you just stand by and watch it happen and don't do anything, she's likely to do that to her children. It's not always the case, but it is more likely than if it wasn't the case, because now she has had that experience with that treatment. She has had that disassociation with the empathy and the pain, you know, because of the lack of empathy that was given to her. You know, you tend to treat people how you want to be treated, and naturally people want to be shown empathy for the things that they're going through, right? If you're in pain, naturally you want somebody to show you empathy and, you know what I'm saying, be compassionate, right? But if somebody can change your psychology and your mindset to where when you're going through something, you don't want nobody to be compassionate to you, then now that's what you're gonna give out, because that's all you know. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're incapable of like giving out compassion to somebody because that's not even what you want, right? So you treat people how you want to be treated. If you don't want to be treated with compassion, then you're not finna treat nobody with compassion for sure. You know what I mean? Because there's no reason to. So we have to understand that we are in control of our universe, our surrounding. What we do dictates what happens in our life. Like, literally, you are in control of your life. I think a lot of people, you know, spend a lot of their energy trying to prove to themselves that they're not in control of their life. Like, when things happen, they're trying to convince themselves that it's not my fault, it's this person's fault, or it's that person's fault, or they did this, so that's why this happened. And they put all their energy into that. But the truth of the matter is, you are in control of your own life. The things that happen to you are as a result of your own actions, right? And once you realize that, then you realize how you can resolve the issue. You realize that the person who causes the problem is the person who can remove the problem. So if you can admit to yourself and be accountable and stand on the fact that you caused your own problems, then you can remove them yourself. You know what I mean? But that's just a tangent that I went off on. Excuse my digression. What the purpose of this live was, as the title implies, is providing a platform for child abuse and child neglect to be discussed, because it happens all too often. You know, there's a lot of stepdads out there that are touching little girls. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stepfathers out there that are using their positioning to touch little girls. They're waiting until the mother get in the shower and then go in the room and touch the little girl while the mother in the shower, and then tell the little girl that other people wouldn't understand. This is what I heard from, you know, somebody close to me that I know that was being touched for years as a child. They were told, don't tell anybody because they wouldn't understand. You know, this is something that's special between me and you. And they thought that that was real. And because nobody around would ever entertain, you know, anything opposite of that, it led them to believe that was just normal. So what I want to do is be a beacon of light for people who might be going through that. I asked that person, how would it have made you feel if you were walking around with your parent and you saw like a table where they were talking about child abuse, and they were talking about how, you know, men shouldn't be touching children and that's not right? What would that have made you feel? And she like was like, ooh, like, you know what I mean? Like, she was like, oh my God, I would have been like, is that real? Is it, you know, she would have thought it was a fantasy. Like, is there people that really, you know, and her saying that really made me just feel like, bro, so why are we not doing that? Like, why are we not putting out there in the front lines in front of everybody's face that men be out here touching little girls? My thing is, if you got a problem with it, what you doing it? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you got a problem with me talking about this, my question is, what is your problem? Like, why do you not think that, you know, I talk about this kind of thing with my daughters. You know what I'm saying? With my 5-year-old daughter, I talk to my 5-year-old daughter about the physiology of a man and how he will become sexually interested. You know what I'm saying? I teach my daughter these things. So a man can't tell you silly shit to just make you think, oh, okay, you know what I mean, that he's in control of himself, because a lot of men are not in control of themselves. You know what I'm saying? These men are not in control of themselves. When they become sexually aroused, they are not in control of their actions. You know, and this is the importance of semen retention. This is why I try to talk to men all the time. You know, unfortunately, if a man is weak enough, he may end up deciding to do something crazy rather than just control himself. You know what I mean? He could hurt somebody, kill somebody, he could cut his own balls off, he could get a vasectomy. You know what I'm saying? All of those things are horrible things that are traumatic, that only a person who is experiencing psychological issues would do. You know, somebody who's not content with themselves. And you have to be able to have control over your sexuality, especially as a man, because everything out here is so tantalizing, bro. Like, these young men need real men to speak to and talk to them, because every way you look left and right is ass and titties, is booty and nipples. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just like, bro, oh my gosh. I was just saying to somebody, like, I'm so sick of seeing little girls' bodies, bro. Like, I'm so sick of seeing it. And then it annoys me that I see it with families. Like, I'll see a young girl, this little girl look like she probably 8, 9, 10 years old. She got on a cut off crop top. I can see her nipples through the shirt. She got the belly button pierced. She walking looking on inappropriate. And she also with her mother and her father. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why y'all okay with this? Like, but here's my thing, right? How many conversations do you think were had with that little girl about the fact that men will try to touch her? None. You know? If you're gonna allow, you know, that's like if you had a son, right? And your son is walking around with a bunch of, because, you know, the dynamic with sons and daughters is different, right? If you had a son and your son is walking around with a bunch of platinum jewelry on, draped up, you know what I'm saying? He got a car with chrome rims on it, or, you know what I'm saying? He blinging, he always bragging about his money, you know. You're going to tell your son, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in control of you. I can't, you know, tell you what to do. You're grown, right? But you need to be aware that there are thieves out there. There are robbers out there. And when you're walking down the street flashing your jewelry, talking about, I got platinum watch, they're watching you. And they will follow you home. They will pretend to be your friend. You know, they will get all buddy-buddy with you to get to know your social status and know the people around you so that they can work with them to set you up. This kind of stuff will happen, and you will attract this to you when you act that way, right? I think that that's what a father should be telling his son. That's what he should be teaching a young man. You're going to attract to you what you want. So you want to go out here flossing, talking about I got this and that, bragging and all of that, talking about you got a gun and all of that. You're going to be attracting people who like to deal with people with guns. You're going to be attracting other people that got guns and like to play with guns. They might want to take your gun. You know what I'm saying? You never know. They might not like that you got a gun, so they want to take it from you. You know, you just never know. These are all of the dangers that you're opening yourself up to just by being so silly to think, shit, I'm tough, I could wear what I want, I could do what I want, I could act how I want. That's a silly teenage mind frame. And you got a lot of parents out here who are supporting this shit. They're teaching the children that it's okay, giving them this sense of false entitlement, validation, which is only gonna get them in jail. Because when mommy not around, a lot of these self-entitled young kids out here, who the first person they call when they grade get locked up? Mommy, mommy. Whenever something go wrong, mommy, can you give me, they trying to do mommy, right? Because this is their enabler. This is the person who enables them to feel entitled to do whatever they want without a care in the world. But when that person gone, don't nobody else care about you like that. And you're going to end up in a jail cell somewhere. You're going to end up, you know what I'm saying, lonely with nobody around you, people taking advantage of you because they have no care for you, you know? And with a woman, with a female, if you have a daughter, you letting her go out here dressing all acting all flamboyantly, jumping in guys' arms, hugging them. Hey, what's up? You know, they talking to guys, talking about, that's my guy friend. Hey, what's up, brother? You not telling her that that's going to make him want to fuck her? You not telling her that all the guys that see her do that with him is now watching her? You not telling her that they will follow her home? I don't understand why you would not be telling her that. That need to be a regular conversation. Like, any girl out here who walking around with her ass out, she walking around, got the little leggings on, booty jiggling. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's not play stupid. Don't play coy with me. You know what I'm saying? They out here, they got the little attitude like they 25, but they really 12, 13, right? These little girls, y'all should be having regular conversations with them about how grown men are going to be approaching them, trying to have sex with them. That's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And if you not, I don't know why you surprised about how many girls out here are raped and molested and kidnapped, because they out here playing the game. That's like saying you know your son, you know, go to football tryouts every day, and then you find out he make the team and you mad, or you surprised. Like, how the hell you surprised that a nigga make the football team when he go to practice every day, when he going to tryouts every day, when he's standing around the football field watching them every day? He might play football, right? So how you gonna be surprised your daughter turned out to be a hoe and a prostitute when she around hoes all day? She dressing like hoes all day. She hanging out with hoes all day. She acting like hoes all day. She turned into a hoe. You gonna be, I can't believe my daughter. Really? What the fuck? What you thought she was gonna be? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you thought she was gonna grow up and be a postal service worker? The fuck? Family, let me get off of here. Let me jump off here. I send y'all positive vibes going forward. I want everybody to share my videos. I want y'all to try to help promote this for me if you could, okay? If you are in support of, you know, the youth being able to have a platform to speak out about what's happening to them, right? Or what they're going through, helping them, right? Therapy. If you're not in support of child trauma, you know, therapeutic remedies for child trauma, then I would assume you don't want me to do this, and I would assume you're going to try to do everything you can to get my page blocked, removed, you know, video taken down and all that, you know. And that's unfortunate for any children that are around you. Number one, because they're not going to have you to help protect them, because you don't even want to talk about it. So of course you're not going to protect them. And then number two, you could be doing it, which might be why you don't want anybody talking about it. Because I'm going to tell you like this: if I touch little children, I would not like me. And I would not want me saying the stuff I'm saying. Because what if that gets said? What if somebody play that video out loud while I'm in front of the kid that I'm touching, or the adult who's the parent of the kid I'm touching, and what I'm saying is playing out loud? It's going to be a real awkward moment, ain't it? The kid going to be like, you know, it might be some exposing going on, right? And that's what you don't want. Well, that's what they don't want. So that's why they don't want me talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all imagine that. Imagine the car ride, right? Hold on for a second. I might clip this back. I want y'all to know why I'm talking openly about, you know, creating a platform for child abuse and sexual assault, right? Imagine a car ride where you got the mother in the car with the stepfather and the daughter that he touching in the car, and she on her phone, and my video pop up and I'm talking, and they in the front, And I'm talking about no man should be putting his hand on a young girl. That's ridiculous. And these mothers out here covering that up. And these girls thinking it's okay that these men coming in their room touching them at night and blah, blah, blah. Imagine me saying that on the phone and she in the car and they both look back, right? It's like, shit. I'm exposing shit, like I'm bringing shit up that like the little girl needs to hear. She needs to know that it's not right what's happening to her. You know what I'm saying? And this was said to me by victims. You know, I hear this from victims. The victims want to hear this, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not a game. Like, they really want to hear this. They want to hear that somebody feels what I feel, thinks what I think. They want to know that it's people out there who don't think that little girls should be being touched on by their mother's boyfriends. That's not okay. You know, it was one girl that was saying it was people who actually worked for the state that was coming and touching her in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets deep. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for those of us who are warriors like me, to protect the children, we got to speak up, man. We got to speak up and make things a little uncomfortable. I'm not sure that we can 100% stop everything and prevent everything, but, you know, it can be for those who are unfortunately ignorant, you know. It's like if you decide you want to go, you know, and be a stripper, you know. If you do that, there's things that come alongside that. I can't help if you decide you want to do that. You made a decision, you know. If you are deciding to allow your child to dress inappropriately, knowing the things that I'm saying, I can't save your child. I can't help. You know what I mean? Like, we can't force anybody to do anything against their will. So this is why it's important for us to put the information out there so that the people are in a better position to make more informed decisions, right? Wisdom is the application of knowledge, right? So if we give them the knowledge and they apply it, they'll make wise decisions, right? But if somebody doesn't even believe for themselves that it would be wise to not, you know, be provocative and, you know, draw attention unnecessarily to yourself and, you know, to stand up for yourself and not let somebody touch you, and, you know, hold people to account who are trying to protect them. All of these things require strength, information, and insight, right? And that's what we want to do, all right? Now, remember to be positive, optimistic, keep positive people in your circle. Anybody who make it through this whole video is going to be very telling how you deal with what you just saw. If you seen this whole video, you watching this right now, and you don't join me, share, tag a motherfucker, do something, it's very telling what side of child abuse you're on. Because I don't know a person alive who don't know a child that might be being abused that they know of. You know what I'm saying? And you choosing to ignore it, or you're choosing to...
Do you know what Catonsville went?
Catonsville?
Do you know what Catholic Johnson?
Catholic Johnson? That's a school? I'm not sure. It might be straight down here, though. There's a school if you keep... Yeah, if you keep going 2 blocks that way, there's a school down
there. You got a dollar.
A what?
A dollar.
A diner? What's that?
A dollar.
Oh, a dollar. You know what, son? I think I might do have a dollar. I think I might do have a dollar. You mind if I ask you what you need a dollar for?
Can I please give it?
Yeah, but can you tell me what you need it for?
So I go to the store.
You going to the store? All right, bro. I appreciate your honesty, man, all right?
Okay.
You have a good day.
All right. Some 2 bucks?
Yes, sir. See that young boy right there? That young kid just walked up to my car. Young kid just walked up to my car as I was talking and asked me for a dollar. Where's that kid's parents? You know, he talked like he was a lot younger, but he looked like he may have been maybe 13, 12, 13. But look, man, y'all remember to be positive, be optimistic, keep positive people in your circle. Because those 3 things are key to ensuring positivity is invited in your future. And hopefully, you know, I've inspired you to some degree to speak up, Kakarot. Don't be a whiny coward saying when it comes to child abuse and sex trafficking and all this other crap. Speak up about it. I am the Prince of all Saiyans. And I say, men touching little girls is not okay. Makes me want to power up and shoot a garlic gun. Look at this guy. He look like the one doing the touching, don't he? That's why they ain't like Frieza. He look like the one doing the touching. Leave them kids alone, Frieza. Stop touching girls. Oh, that's cooler. Stop touching girls.